Once again.
If you see me on screen, what Steve Smith say? If you see this face on camera, that means
we scored again.
Right. And then on this podcast, if you see this face, that means there's something special going on.
Again.
And today we're doing the NBA preview for the 2023-2024 season. It's your boy Brody. Thank y'all as always for tapping in. And today, as you can see, I'm with my man Q. Q, what's up?
What's going on, man? At this time of the year, you can call me Q, aka Celtics in 7. Everything. Celtics in 7 against everybody. That's the long and the short of it. We really could end it now, but for content's sake, we gonna continue.
Oh man, here we go. He on it early, and I guess that is a good place to start. The Eastern Conference. Q, the resident Celtics fan here. Break the Celtics down. What's going on, man?
So I said after Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, something broke in me, and I could never support a team in my life like I have before, and that is still true. I still maintain that. I don't think I'll ever be as excited for sports again in my life. They did take a lot out of me that night. Not just that we lost, it's how we lost. But as soon as I'm out, they pull me back in. And Drew Holiday, a little bit of Porzingis, a little bit, because you can't. Porzingis like
you know how the white guys do in Boston, man.
Porzingis is kind of like the Odell Beckham of basketball. You know, he could be a lot of things, but you know he hasn't because of injury.
I try my best not to bet against white players in Boston. It's like their fountain of youth.
He could be a modern day Bill Walton, if you mean. But look, man. Celtics is 7 against everybody. With all due respect to Damian Lillard and the Milwaukee Bucks, I was shaking a little bit, not gonna lie, when they got Dame. But then we got Drew Holiday. Yeah. I mean, that's just...
So like, for me, I think that the thing about Boston is they're so loaded in all the positions. Like, 'cause I was looking at it the other day, you got Drew Holiday at the 1, Jaylen Brown at the 2, Tatum at the 3. I mean, if you want to start Derek White, you could throw him in there, you know, somewhere within that guard space. He'll be
starting.
Or you could do Al Horford and Porzingis. And I'm like, that's a real tough 5.
That's good spacing.
And so that's why I like Boston. But over Milwaukee, distinctively say that, that's kind of tough, man. That's kind of tough. Milwaukee, that now that they got Dame, they got a tandem that's going to be really hard to beat because the pick and roll, man. Dame and Giannis together, and it's
going to be vicious.
Unstoppable, man.
It's going to be vicious.
So, I don't know. I'm torn between the two right now. I really am torn between the two.
It's going to be vicious, man. But look, at the end of the day, as a Celtics fan, I can honestly say, bro, that you can't be scared. You can't run from nobody. If we truly if we are truly the finals contenders that everybody's been claiming we've been for the past, it feels like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? At some point, man, y'all got to go ahead and drop your nuts and play basketball. Yeah. Because I feel like it's just going to come down to if Jason Tatum, at the end of the day, bro, if Jason Tatum is truly top 10, top 5 in this league, and I believe that he is debatably top 5, for sure top 10. And Jaylen Brown, who I believe is top 15 in the league, along with a veteran, and maybe even we can have the conversation about Hall of Famer Drew Holiday. We can have that talk. We can have that conversation.
We can have that conversation. I agree.
But I mean, with that right there, I don't. At the end of the day, man, your best players got to be your best players, and our who we gonna be this year is gonna be very much dependent on our stars.
Yeah,
Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. When you need them the most, will they be there?
So for Tatum, like I've heard a lot of people throw out, he got to win MVP this year. That's the only way that he can really elevate himself, especially with all the team success. Because you got to think Boston, they've been you mentioned it. They've been contenders for like 10 years. I can't remember the last time that they weren't a contender. But at some point, you got to get over that hump. They were close with Isaiah Thomas. Mm-hmm. Then they tried it with Kyrie and Tatum and Hayward and stuff. That didn't work. Mm-hmm. Now it's been with Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. At some point, you got to either shit or get off the pot. And I think this may be that last year before they say, you know what? What other options do we have?
But, I mean, that's why they went all in this summer. They went all in. They got rid of Robert Williams. And they said, okay, we're not going to have two big men that are injury prone. We can't do that. And an old Al Horford. So, I mean, we can't do that. We have to maximize on Jason. And I don't think we've really realized, man, like, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are like 26, 25 years old. Like, as much as they've done already, and they're just really hitting their prime. They're just now getting there. I don't necessarily think he has to win MVP, but he must sustain the level of, he must secure his spot as best small forward in the league. He must continue to do that. Because I feel like he's already done that.
Yeah.
He is that because of partially because of injury, partially because of play. We haven't been able to see Kawhi for many years. Yeah. KD been hurt. But I will argue at the same time, player for player right now, Jason Tatum's better.
Yeah, I agree. I won't
right now. Of course, Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant. But Jason Tatum has all the abilities to be an all-time great baller, too.
Yeah.
And he's already statistically been proven to be one of the best players early on in his career ever in the league.
Right.
And successful. At the end of the day, man, they got two ballers, we got two ballers. Mm-hmm. If our guys show up like theirs shows up, I'm not afraid.
Okay.
Best against best, I'm not afraid, man. And Giannis and Dame, I know. They like that, man, but no, and those are two secured Hall of Famers.
Right, yeah.
Secured Hall of Famers. But at the same time, man, if Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, man, Jaylen Brown, man, I love you. You might be my favorite Celtic ever, dog. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, you just as a person, you might be my favorite Celtic ever. But we gave you that money, dog. I think Jaylen Brown is out to prove that he deserves his money.
Yeah, I think so too. He definitely deserves it, in my opinion. I've always been a big fan of Jaylen Brown just because he's one of those players that seems like every year he brings something new back. You know, he's never complacent in his skill set. He's always working on something. This summer, you know, I seen him in the lab working on his left hand, you know.
Man, look, now objectively, I will be the objective Celtics fan and tell you that hell yeah, the Bucks got something for us. That's why I said Celtics in 7 against everybody. And when I said everybody, I mean that with the Heat as well. Still, I don't care who they do and don't have. They'll roll out there. We didn't know who Gabe Vincent was last year until the playoffs.
Yeah.
So they'll find somebody, and it won't just be Jimmy. They still got Bam. Kyle Lowry will still pop out with the random 25 and 10 out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. The Miami Heat. And that's to speak on it. I'm not really worried about Philly like that. I think Philly about to take several steps back.
Yeah, they're cooked, real cooked.
I think just he's gonna be disgruntled. I think Joel Embiid is gonna be disgruntled.
I think he's gonna ask for a trade. I'm calling it right now. I think he's gonna ask for a trade to New York. And James Harden. And James Harden's gonna get stuck there, and they just gonna find him until where they don't have to pay him.
The Nets or the Knicks
for Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
The Knicks.
Oh.
He's gonna be like, look, send me to the Knicks. I think that's where he wants to go. I think all signs are pointed there for the last year or so because I think he liked the picture of him in the Knicks jersey. That's allegedly. I'm not sure for sure, but yeah, I think Joel Embiid's gonna ask for a trade. James Harden's gonna get stuck there, and Miami. In terms of Miami, I like them. I really do. But I think the thing about Miami this year is just how is Tyler Hero going to affect their lineup? And I think at some point, because they've been really good without him, I think it's a fair argument to say when he gets back into the lineup this season, are they going to still be able to maintain what they started last year in the playoffs? Because that was the best basketball they were playing without him.
Man, you're not gonna catch me counting out the Miami Heat in no type of way. Yeah, I'm scarred. I have the battle scars to prove it. I got the wounds. I got 10 years worth of wounds from the Miami Heat, man. I'm not counting out the Miami Heat for nothing. They could roll out. They could go out there with Jimmy Butler and us, and I believe we win the NBA Finals. Okay, at least go to the NBA Finals. Okay. So it's just like I'm not counting out the Miami Heat. I think Miami Heat are gonna end up like we were talking about earlier. I think Miami is gonna be a part of the top 4 in the East.
Top 4. I think they're gonna be in the top 4. Yeah, I can see them. I think for me it's a 3-team top 4, and then the 4th is kind of like a wild card to me. It's in some order: Milwaukee, Boston, and jeez, why am I having a brain fart?
Because Philly,
Miami,
I don't think Philly top 3 no more.
Yeah, because I think Philly is cooked, and then everything outside of that top 3.
4, I'm taking Cleveland. Actually,
Cleveland?
I'm gonna take Cleveland 3.
3?
I'm taking Cleveland 3.
I don't trust them
In the postseason.
and
I believe in the regular season they be some dogs this year. I could believe it. I could look up and I could totally believe Cleveland be the number 1 team in the East at the All-Star break. I could believe that.
The number 1
and then
team?
drop off the face of the planet.
That's a bold statement to make.
I could believe that.
That's right. I can see it, but I don't know. I just don't like their team. Like I feel like they got a team that can play good on certain nights, but when it counts, they just, I don't know, they feel unlucky.
Oh, they are unlucky. That's why they'll probably lose in the first round as a 3rd seed.
With Donovan, because I think this is the last year of Donovan Mitchell's contract too, and he want to go to New York too. He want to go to the Knicks too. Hey.
They'll probably lose to the Knicks again. They lose to the Knicks last year, or they lose to the Hawks or somebody.
Because the Knicks. Truth be told, I think the Knicks are probably my 4th team. I think it's Boston, Milwaukee, Miami, and then New York. I think that's a 4.
See, but I just think the Knicks are an every other year team.
Every other year.
I think they're an every other year team. I think this is the year that they might poop their pants and miss the playoffs entirely. I like that squad though, but it's the Knicks still.
I wouldn't be shocked by that either. But the thing about them that I really like is Jalen Brunson. He's a winner, and I think sometimes to have especially a point guard like that, and he's a winner. Agree. If nothing else, I think he's gonna keep them afloat and not
they are one Jalen Brunson injury away from either being top 4 in the East or totally missing the playoffs.
Right. Yeah.
With all due respect to Julius Randle, but he is Mr. Inconsistent. He gets the award for most inconsistent.
Yeah, and I love him as a player because he's such a dog. Like, he really is. He always has been. But some nights it's just like, dude, are you playing for yourself? You playing to win? Like, what's going on, man?
That's another man who needs a left hand.
Who, Julius Randle? He's left-handed.
But right hand. He needs some hands. He needs his hands not to turn into boxing gloves in the paint too. When Jalen Brunson throws on the ball, I was watching him fumble too many balls in the playoffs last year. Anyways, man, it's about to be. I think Milwaukee will get the 1 seed. Mm-hmm. Milwaukee 1. I'm going Boston 2. I'm gonna take, like I said, I'm gonna take Cleveland 3.
Okay.
And 4, I'm going with Miami with the and then outside of that it's a free for all.
Yeah, it's a Royal Rumble after that.
I actually wouldn't be. We talked about surprise teams earlier. Never count out the Hawks are random. The Hawks are always random,
and I hate their team so much.
I do too, man. But you remember they were in the Eastern Conference Finals not too long ago.
Yeah. They got 2 All-Stars on the team, right?
Exactly.
DeJounte Murray, Trae Young.
Exactly. And
it's time for one of them to. They're gonna have to figure it out too.
Exactly. I could see the Hawks. Maybe being the top 4 seed because after the first 3, I think it's a.
What about a team like Chicago? I like Chicago. I just wish that they could stay completely healthy. I think that's the biggest deterrent, especially with Lonzo Ball, because I know he was such a big part of their team. But I really like them, Levine and DeRozan. And they still got Nikola Vucevic too. They got a nice squad.
At some point, they got to do ballers for sure, but health is their problem, like you spoke about. If they was healthy, health. it's gonna come down to health for Chicago.
Let's see. Is there any other because I feel like the East. This is one of those years where the East is really top heavy, but like the top 3, 4 is like, man, like.
Yeah,
you can see all them making a trip to the finals and putting up a shot, or if not winning a championship. But outside of those two that we bitches, you got any other sleepers in the East?
Oh man, sleepers in the East. What I do agree with, Kevin Garnett did make the hot statement that Jordan Poole gonna be the next James Harden out there. I think Jordan Poole gonna put up dumb numbers this year in a losing effort.
Yeah,
I think that mug will be liable to be scoring 40. Oh, he might lead the league in scoring.
I could see it.
He might lead the league in scoring.
Field goal
and they'll be 20 and 64 or whatever it is.
Hey, I wouldn't be shocked if they do mess around and make like the play-in or something like that. I really wouldn't.
Maybe.
Like where Jordan Poole just on that last 2 weeks, just 50,
he gonna be
after 50 after 50, and they
God
win.
Almighty, he gonna be jacking it.
Because I like their team. They're young, but I do like their team. What about Indiana? You know, they got Tyrese Halliburton. That's a good young point guard. They got my man.
They'll be scrappy.
My man from Arizona, Mathurin, I think.
They'll be scrappy.
They always a decent team.
They'll get a game. They'll take a chunk out of somebody in the first round.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the one team that this year they better get it together. I'm rooting for them. Is Detroit. Detroit, y'all gotta get. Man, Kate Cunningham coming back.
I gotta see it to believe it.
Right.
I gotta see it to believe. I wouldn't be mad at it. I'm not opposed to Detroit coming back. That's old school basketball. I'm never opposed to Detroit coming back. But hey, another person to watch out for, Paulo. I think Paulo gonna take that another leap this year too. I think Paulo legit. It's just the magic.
Yeah, it's just the magic. And that's the problem with the East. There's so many teams, and we haven't even talked about the Hornets yet. We don't even. This would turn into a hate fest. It shouldn't be, but all in all, the East is filled with a bunch of young teams. That's why it's not a lot of real surprising teams, and the top is just so big. But the West, on the other hand, let's transition over into the West.
God, that's the hard one.
It's loaded. Let's talk about Denver.
I think the appropriate question is who's not a playoff contender in the West. Let's talk about who's not.
Let's talk about who's not.
Okay, let's just get out of the way who's not, because this is what I can probably think of like one team right off the bat that I know that's not going to be in the playoffs in the West. That's Rockets.
Oh yeah,
Rockets not going to be there. Now the Rockets will be interesting. They're going to be fun to watch on some nights, but they not going to the playoffs. A second team that's not going to the playoffs, I can just name these two off top for sure. They also going to be fun too. It's the Spurs. Spurs going to be fun, but they're not going to be in the playoffs. Now we can speak on everybody else. Everybody else legit could make the playoffs.
Yes, everybody else could, and I'm just stuck on the fact that not only could every other team make the playoffs, but it wouldn't shock me if they mess around and win 50 games and just snap all season long. And so I want to talk about the Nuggets first because they are the reigning champions. We got to give them their respect. Absolutely. They did win last year. Do you think that this is their conference to lose? Or do you think that they're just kind of in the mix with everybody else?
It's 100% their conference to lose.
Okay.
Because they have the best chemistry of everybody in the West.
Okay.
They got the best chemistry. They've played, of course, outside of the Warriors. But that's the one thing everybody wants to see is how Chris Paul, and for the long stretch, deals around there. We all understand Chris Paul's basketball acumen. He's a baller.
I give it till Christmas Day.
Exactly.
I give it until Christmas Day.
We're gonna see how, in the heat of the moment, him and Draymond. You know what I'm saying? How that comes. We're gonna see. I just if Chris Paul wasn't on the Golden State Warriors, I would say the Golden State Warriors, of course, have the best chemistry of everybody in the league.
Yeah.
They've been together the longest. They're the most proven, even over the Nuggets. But I just think it is the Nuggets.
So right now with the Nuggets, who are the 4 teams that you think right now are the top of the West? Like, these are the teams that have a real shot at winning a championship.
I could probably name it's probably more than 4 that could legit win the chip. Because
I have 4 that I'm like confident in saying, okay, they could go to the finals and beat any team in the East.
What's your 4?
My 4 right now is Denver, Phoenix, the Lakers.
Well, of course.
And then I think
sorry ass Lakers.
and then I think the 4th one, as much as I hate to admit it, is the Clippers. Because I was about to swerve you and say the Warriors, but no, the Clippers I think really are that 4th team, as much as I hate to say it, because when they are all healthy, they're just so freaking good.
But that's never gonna happen.
It's never gonna happen, and I'm rooting so bad for it to happen because I love Kawhi, I love Paul George, and I want to give them a chance. But if I had to say healthy, no injuries, no nothing, these 4 teams are the ones I'm like, okay, they can go into the East and beat those teams, any of those teams, and also go through the West.
Okay. So, I can agree with you on 3 of those.
3.
I can agree with you on if fully healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I can agree with you on. I can agree with you on Denver. I can agree with you on Phoenix. I can't agree with you on the Lakers. And I can't agree with you. Well, I won't agree with you on the Clippers. I'm taking the Warriors over the Clippers every day because I'm not Steph. If I'm taking Steph Curry,
Yeah,
like I'm just.
I can understand that.
Steph.
I can understand that.
Like Steph and Clay and Draymond and Chris Paul, who is never healthy when it matters. And let's say Chris Paul is healthy when it matters and is meshing. I'm taking them to beat the Clippers in a 7-game series, even with a healthy Clippers team.
And see, that's where I think the Warriors will implode is with Chris Paul. I don't think that him and Draymond. I really just don't think him and Draymond will get along that well.
We finna see.
And it's not gonna be. It's gonna be something like with Kevin Durant when all that stuff happened with Draymond and Kevin Durant. It wasn't like they weren't homeboys off the court. Something happened on the court, and it was like, oh nah, ain't no coming back.
Right.
That. So I wonder if that's something that could happen because you got 2 real strong leaders.
Yeah. It's gonna get real sticky. It's gonna get real sticky in Golden State. But man, you know, Steph kind of like Patrick Mahomes, bro. Like, you never gonna catch me catching him out. I'm not gonna count out Steph Curry in no type of way.
I understand that.
Chef Curry always got something.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be. I think they're gonna be in that mix. Because I guess we have the top 4, and let's talk about the Lakers too. The Warriors, the Lakers, those teams like that. Because I feel like there's a lot of teams in the West too where people disagree on them, like because it is so many just really, really good teams. Because I feel like a team like Sacramento is still in the mix. Like I still like them from last year. I know they're not,
Hell yeah.
but I still think they deserve respect as being a team that could go to the playoffs and really do something.
Hell yeah. They could be now if we talking about we spoke about, okay, at full strength, who would be top 4? I'm being realistic when I'm talking about health and everything. Top 4 for me, I believe probably will end up being Denver 1. I'm gonna go with Phoenix 2. I'm gonna go with Memphis 3.
Ooh,
because I think that Marcus Smart was the most perfect addition they could add to that team. They needed discipline on that freaking team, man. That team needed discipline, and that's what they brought to that team, was some discipline.
Even with Ja being out 25 games?
I think Marcus Smart running point around there could hold them down. They could still. They just need to stay in the thick of things while Ja's gone. It's only 25 games. Not 25 games, a lot of games. I know I said only 25 games. But, man, I think the addition of Marcus Smart is going to really keep them in the – it's going to keep – as long as when he come back, they ain't out of the top 8, they going to be there – because the West is so tight. The difference between 8 and 1 could be like 2 games.
Yeah. See, that's the thing about Memphis that because I like Memphis a lot. John Morant being out is the one thing that's like pulling me away from saying that they still got a shot in the West. Because I'm just like, I don't know. They did lose. People want to laugh at Dillon Brooks all they want. Dillon Brooks, when Ja was out, he played a lot better. He did play better. He played well. And there was a chemistry to that team. I think Steven Adams, I think it came out yesterday, he's out for the season because he had a leg injury, so he's done for the season. Injuries and just time away, like I think that's really going to affect them. Even with the
Yeah.
addition of Marcus Smart, I think they're like a year away.
I don't think they're going to the finals, but I think as far as at the end of the regular season, I think they have one of the 4 best records in the West.
Okay.
Them and I'm gonna go to State for.
Golden State 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's a solid. The West is such a toss up because even looking down past that, a team that I really like as well, New Orleans.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
If Zion can stay healthy,
they could be top 4.
They could be top 4. Easily be a top 4 team.
Truth be told to you, before the injuries came into place and fake guns and all types of shit last year, man, I could have swore. I was like last year, I was like, man, I felt like last year was a year. It was either going to be New Orleans or Memphis. For a little while, for a good little 2 weeks in the year last year, I was like, this might be the New Orleans or Memphis coming out this year. I ain't going to lie. They had both of them had that little bit of that old Shaq and Penny type of vibe back in the day. Just like, they might go and get swept in the finals, but them boys going to make it.
Right. They going to do something, man.
And, like, I would believe in your Lakers. I would. If it wasn't for LeBron's load management. I just don't believe LeBron care about the regular season no more.
Yeah.
I don't think LeBron will be top 4 in the West. I don't think he cares. As long as he's in the playoffs. I think he literally just cares about just making the playoffs.
I ain't gonna disagree with that. I think that the thing about the Lakers is they had a good offseason too. They signed a lot of good role players, and I think that's something they're trying to build around the fact that, okay, LeBron ain't gonna play like that the regular season. My thing is Anthony Davis has to stay healthy for once in his life.
Not happening either.
Because if he doesn't stay healthy, it don't matter how many games LeBron plays. It's a dub. It's a wrap. The season is dead. And I think that this is gonna be LeBron's last dance too. I think the time has come. I think this is going to be his final season in the NBA.
Do you want me to be honest with you about something, bro? Let me put my Celtics fandom to the side for a minute. If I'm being truly honest with you, bro, a healthy okay? We let's play with some ifs real quick. If my aunt had a pair of nuts, she'd be my uncle. But she don't, okay? She fucking doesn't. Look, man, Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is probably, bro. A healthy Anthony Davis might be the best big man in basketball.
Easy.
I don't say easy, but he might be.
I think he is.
I think if the Lakers had a healthy Anthony Davis, they would be my pick to win the finals. Because LeBron James is always going to do LeBron James too.
Yes,
you got one of the greatest players of all time right there, and Anthony Davis is so unstoppable when he's playing, man. There's only 2 other people in the league that can look him in his eyes. Three, but the other dude ain't got no help. So sorry, Embiid, you don't have a chance against the Lakers if Anthony Davis is healthy.
Yeah,
it would be, bro. I would not want to fuck with the Lakers in the finals if it was a healthy Anthony Davis. If y'all say Anthony Davis will be healthy and not get hurt in the finals against us, I would be like, can I have anybody else?
Yeah,
I would want to play against Jokic. I would want to play against anybody but Anthony Davis in the finals because it's pairing him with Bron. That is, before Anthony Davis got hurt. What was that series when he got hurt? The year the Suns went to the finals.
Yeah, that was the first round. Man,
that game 3 when Anthony Davis went off. I said, "Oh, this series is over."
Yeah,
I said, "Series is over." Man, I'm gonna agree with Lakers. Lakers in 6 if Anthony Davis is healthy. But like I said, if my aunt had a pair of nuts, she'd be my uncle. It's not. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think the fate of the Lakers this year is to be the 6th seed and lose in the second round in 7 games. Like I think that's what's gonna happen.
And see, that's the thing about the Lakers. I feel like LeBron, like I said, I think this is LeBron's last season. I really do think this is his last season playing, and because of that last month or 2 months, I think it's like, all right, you're going to get all that LeBron can give you on the court. And I think, and even with Anthony Davis, by that point, hey, man, you take a few games off, especially because the thing about the load management is for LeBron, they do it all on the beginning of the season. Towards the end of the season, that's when LeBron try to play to get his feet under him. And I think that will be a big key in making sure that both of them can stay healthy going into the playoffs is if they can manage both of their load managers at the same time, because sadly it's not as bad as the Clippers but at the same time it's still one of those things where the Lakers are going to have to figure out a way to balance the two at the same time, because they're both valuable in their own sort of distinct way.
Man, but if you low manage them, both of them, you're not going to be a top 4 seed in the West. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like I don't see an avenue of that happening, because you got to low manage them. Now, I think we need to address the elephant in the NBA universe. The elephant of the NBA universe is the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, Phoenix Suns.
Okay, and I do want to say something real quick. For sure, there's no doubt right now to me that Jokic is the best player in the league. Okay, Jokic is the best player in the league. That is factored into his performance on the court, and Anthony Davis is non-ass health. Okay, and of course Giannis choking in the first round. Him get hurt too, so that too.
Yeah.
Now, being said, the elephant of the NBA universe is the Phoenix Suns, because we're very aware that we know we're gonna look up one night and we gonna see KD with 40. We're going to see Devin Booker with 32. And we're going to see Bradley Beal with 28 and 12. And we're going to be like, how in the hell is anybody ever going to beat this team? But then the playoffs start. And then injuries factor in.
Yeah. Yeah, injuries are a big part.
Yeah,
the injuries are such a big part, because, like, KD has missed a lot of time over the last like 3 or 4 years. I was on Twitter the other day. I saw a stat: the preseason Lakers Suns, that was the first time that LeBron and Kevin Durant have played a game.
That's egregious.
Since I think 2016.
That's egregious.
What it said, like something crazy. That's like
egregious.
That. Or it was crazy.
That's no reason.
And so, talk about the Suns and just what you see playing out with this team. How do you see things going? Because
it's gonna be slow to start.
Because I'm lost. I'm confused right now.
It's gonna be slow to start.
This team.
And that they're not gonna be the top. I don't think they're not gonna be the top seed in the West. But you better believe coming out of that All-Star break, it's gonna get scary. It's gonna get scary. It's gonna be some nights, bro, where people gonna sit up at night like, I don't know how anybody's ever gonna beat them in a 7-game series. Like but then again, it's gonna come down. It's the casualties of war, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, because for me, and we talked about this earlier with Tatum, this is the year where Devin Booker is going to have to take that next step and become that leader. That's like, oh no, we leading us to the promised land.
But now we need to be real about something. Who taking the last shot?
Kevin Durant's always taking the last shot, but
is Devin Booker gonna be okay with that every night?
I mean, it's Kevin Durant. You gonna have to. It's Kevin Durant's right? Kevin Durant is one of. I think there's like a handful of players that ever played a game of basketball that if they like last shot, who the ball go to, you understand when they say.
I agree with that.
And Kevin Durant is on that list. In my opinion, he's on that list. But I think that But I also think the thing about Phoenix, too, is that they're going to be playing based on who's hot that night. So there might be some nights KD is going off. Boom, he take the last shot. Devin Booker some nights maybe scoring instead of facilitating. He take that last shot. Even Bradley Beal. Like, people sleep on Bradley Beal when he was in Washington because them teams weren't good. But, hey, he was still putting up numbers even when John Wall was still there. So,
man, I worry about Kevin Durant's Kevin Durant can get passive. And some nights it's gonna call for him to be like, hey man, like dog, we need 40. Like Book ain't got it right now, Bill ain't got it, we need 40. But I do worry about, because he's been deferring for so long, like, is there gonna be any type of rust factor in those moments? Is he gonna be any type of coldness? Is he gonna in those times still try to make the basketball play, which people get on LeBron for forever? When it's like, dude, you're getting guarded by a 6'2" Drew Holiday right now. We need you to pull up, and we need you to post him up, and not just keep trying to force feed everybody else the ball. Now, the other elephant in the room for the Phoenix Suns is they don't have anybody else on the damn team.
Yeah, they don't. They don't have no point guard. But Yeah, they don't have a point guard. They got a couple bigs. They got Bol. People like Bol.
They don't have anybody else on the damn team.
People
and you know, hey man, Bol may surprise the hell out of us, but you know,
I tried Phoenix. I tried to throw y'all.
there's a reason why he's not in Orlando anymore.
But yeah, they don't have anybody else on the team, and how big of a factor do you think that's going to be when it comes playoff time? Because, you know, the role players are real valuable when you get to them 5 or 6 game, 7 game series.
Man, it's so much more physical in the playoffs, man. 7 games. And you relying on brittle Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, who's picking up an injury history, Devin Booker, who gets nicked up from time to time. It can get real dicey for the Suns, man. Very, very, very fast.
Yeah.
But and I also worry about teams with more chemistry and been together longer. And a 7-game series against the Warriors, a 7-game series against the Nuggets. Like I don't know.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I don't know. They don't have anybody. Damn sure don't have anybody to guard Jokic.
Oh, nah. They don't have a soul that can do that.
Jokic. Talk about a pick and roll. Let's talk about the original NBA pick and roll. Well, of these days right now. That pick and roll that has been proven to work time and time again of Jamal Murray and Jokic.
Yeah.
I mean, that one we assume that Dame and Giannis will work on pick and roll because, I mean, most likely it will.
Yeah.
But we have seen Jokic and Murray.
So with that being said, let's start with our top. So we got our best 4 in the West. Is there any sleepers? Well, is there any sleepers that we want to talk about in the West? And then,
well, I don't know. It's so hard to have sleepers in the West because there's 10 teams that could be the top seed in the West. Like even the Sacramento Kings could be the top seed in the West next year.
Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox is. Give me De'Aaron Fox any day, man. I'll take De'Aaron Fox as my point guard any day.
Yeah, he's nice.
He's a warrior, man.
I'll give you one team that I'm really kind of looking forward to next year, and I'm hoping that they do take a step, and that's Minnesota. Ant-Man.
It's like that.
Yeah, he's like that. And I'm looking for him to take a step this season, too. And really, because, you know, the FIBA World Championships, how he was playing in that, he was the best player on that team by far.
Watch out for the Thunder.
Watch out for the Thunder.
Watch out for the Thunder. Watch out for the Thunder. If Shea stays on that trajectory, and Chet Holmgren is anything that, you know, that I've seen from him.
Yeah, I like Chet.
You know, in you know player. The times he's played. Now he's frail as hell, but hey.
But he got that redshirt year. That's always a good thing for a rookie coming in. I've never seen them have a redshirt year in the NBA and not have a good rookie season.
OKC got some pieces, and they can have some abilities to make some moves. They got draft picks. Wink, wink, Joel Embiid. I'm just saying.
Oh, you throwing out there's a possibility.
Conspiracy theories.
Okay.
Conspiracy theories. That's all.
Okay, to Oklahoma City. That would be interesting.
Just saying. Conspiracy theories.
Because would they have to give up Chet to get Joel Embiid?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Philly's stupid. Philly will take all those draft picks. Philly's stupid.
They're gonna restart the process in Philly. I feel bad for them. I really do.
Stupid. But I do say watch out for OKC. Okay, I think OKC is not gonna need. I think the OKC is not gonna need to play in this year. I think OKC is gonna solidly be in the playoffs.
Okay, I like that. I like that. I think that this is the year for them. This really is the year for them. They got a lot of young players that fit really well together. Like
they do, man.
And surprisingly so, I think a lot of them they've been playing together for a good little while now.
Man,
you know?
I see something in him, man. I'm a Shea fan. I think he got everything in the so-called bag.
Everything in the so-called bag. He does.
It's such a deep Western Conference. We spoke about New Orleans. We spoke about because we can go down our top. The Clippers is in there. The Clippers is the wild card. If Phoenix is the elephant in the room, the damn wild card is the Clippers.
Yes.
That is
because Paul George and Kawhi, they got to get together, man. This year,
and they're also getting to a point though is how much his age gonna start factoring into them too.
Yeah.
That
That's a good
recovery
point.
time ain't the same the more and more you get injured.
How old is Paul George and Kawhi Leonard? You know,
Mid-30s.
mid-30s at this point. Yeah, it's getting about that
They
time.
around the same age as KD.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
Maybe a little bit younger.
Yeah, it's getting about that time, fellas. Y'all gonna have to do something, man.
I trust Ty Lue.
I do too. I'm
a Ty Lue fan.
So, and I got one more team that is another sleeping giant, and that's the Dallas Mavericks.
Never. Never.
With Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving.
Trade Kyrie and get Joel Embiid. Joel, I'm trying to help you. Okay. Joel, I'm trying to help you.
So, how do we see this playing out in Dallas this year?
I don't have too much faith in Dallas. I just don't. I mean, I think Luka is Luka, but numbers wise, I think Luka is has a. I spoke about Tatum earlier. I think Luka has a chance to be all time great too. Mm-hmm. But I mean, there was some murmurs about him being frustrated at the end of the year. We talk about Joel Embiid being frustrated. That's somebody else that could be very frustrated this year too.
That's a good point.
It just never made sense for me to get Kyrie Irving. That just never made sense to me. I mean, that is just like whatever happened to balance basketball teams. Like I don't know. Like where I didn't know we were playing at the YMCA and just needed the best 5 players.
Give the ball to Will and play
They
the better
just
offense.
don't mesh to me. That like I thought Luka was the de facto point guard. Especially once you got major decisions and get rid of Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
Luka might as well be the one.
Yeah, I think for them he does. I think on the position sheet, I think he is their one. But the thing about them as a team is that it's really just 2 dudes with a bag. And I love both players. Like Kyrie, I'll defend Kyrie. I'm sorry, but it's just 2 dudes with a bag. Everybody else is kind of just there.
But yeah, who's that legitimate? Every legitimate team we've talked about, right? Mm-hmm. Even going to the Pelicans have a legit 3. Because CJ McCollum is maybe the best 3 you could have. One of the best 3s you can have. Everybody that's serious in the league has at least somebody, a third option that you have to pay attention to.
Right, exactly.
Every legit team has a third option.
And so Dallas
Mavericks don't.
Yeah, they don't. And so I like them as a team. I want to root for them real bad. I want them to win, but I think it's just an interesting team to talk about because it is 2 of the top 15 best players in the NBA on this team that people just think are like, man, they ain't gonna be that good.
And they'll have nights too where it's just like, damn, what in the hell?
Right. Kyrie will drop 40 and Luka will drop 50.
They'll have nights too where it's just like on a Sunday afternoon you'll be watching them play the Nuggets or something. They beat the Nuggets because Luka didn't have the 50-point triple-double.
Right. So okay, so let's move forth with I guess the in-season tournament. I want to call it. I call it the play-in, but now you got this. And I'm confused about the rules. I ain't even gonna talk about the rules at this point. I'm just asking who you think is gonna win until we can figure out this rules because I'm really confused by what it is that the NBA is trying to accomplish with this thing.
I look at it kind of like how high school basketball do tournaments in the middle of the year for Christmas and shit. That's how I be looking at it. Like, okay, y'all I don't know. Y'all playing AAU basketball now? I don't know why they did. Why they do that?
For money, and to me,
for money. Facts. It's always that. That's the easy
for money.
Yeah.
And to me, I think the bad thing about it is just they create this tournament. I don't understand the rules. I'm sure you don't understand the rules either. Like that.
I think they're probably trying to compete for ratings for football season early in the season too, because around that time, a lot of people don't really tap into basketball season heavy until football completely goes away.
That is very, very true, especially after the All-Star break.
If you ain't no real basketball fanatic,
you're not watching the beginning of the year.
Like if
football.
you fuck with both evenly, like you know what I'm saying. Unless you got a piss poor football team and you can't wait to get a basketball season like me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I completely understand, and I'm with you on that. But the play-in tournament, we're confused by it. But do you have a team that you like? They gonna win this thing. This is the first time ever they just gonna win. Pull this thing out.
But you know what's so crazy? In tournaments and stuff like that, that would be the time for the Mavericks.
That would be
the time for teams like the Mavericks and your Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
And your Thunder.
Right.
Yeah, that would be your time for teams like that.
Even a team like Charlotte.
It's your Hawks. Yeah, for dudes that can be hot for 2 or 3 nights. Mm-hmm. Oh, hell, Trae Young could bust somebody's ass for 2-3 nights and win a tournament. And be beating some juggernauts too. So I can see that.
So we gonna take.
But you know, in those tournaments, it's different brackets and stuff, ain't it?
Yeah. So the way it's set up, from what I do understand, is that I guess each conference, it'll be set up into like groups. Each group will play a certain number of times. They'll earn points, and then I think after a while, the highest amount of points gets you put into like the tournament part. It's based on
Jesus Christ.
Like right. It's so much. It's based on the like a soccer tournament. I don't want to say the Champions League because I'm not all the way sure. Like I apologize. I'm not familiar with it. But that's what it's kind of based on, like group play. Almost like the Olympics in a weird way.
Okay.
So
if you lose one time, you still in it?
Yeah, maybe. I don't think.
In it to win the second seed. Hey, man, it might be the Timberwolves.
Yeah. It's one of those things.
I believe those tournaments, man, is going to piss off the NBA because everybody good going to be low managing. That's exactly what's going to happen. LeBron James is not playing in no play-in tournament. No tournaments.
Like,
LeBron James will be sitting on those benches.
What am I going to get for that?
LeBron James will not be playing.
A trip to Vegas.
LeBron will not be playing. Giannis will not be playing. Embiid will not be playing.
So I think that.
So it'll probably be a decent team that wins those tournaments.
Right, I think it's gonna be a team that ain't even gonna be that good. I think it's just a team that for that first month, that's why I'm on the bold prediction of. I think the Spurs are gonna win this tournament.
Hey, yo,
they go come out the gate with Victor.
Could be the damn Knicks. I don't know.
It could be the Knicks. Oh yeah, it could be. But they gonna come out with Big Vic.
Spurs. No.
With Big Vic, and they gonna. The NBA is gonna find a way to make sure that they do it, but you didn't hear that from me.
Hey, I be feeling that type of stuff about Luka. Shoot, I feel like the NBA would do anything to get Luka in the playoffs. They would just end up sucking that bad.
Yeah,
I would put my money on a team, on a YMCA ass team like the Mavericks to win that type of shit. So give me the Mavericks.
So you're the
Mavericks, win those damn tournament.
Yeah, so I got Spurs, you got Mavericks, Texas, the Battle of Texas.
I'm telling you, it'll be somebody like that. The best teams won't even be Jaylen Brown sitting on the bench.
Yeah. I'm hoping. If I had a team to hope for, it'd be the Hornets. Please give us something to actually be happy for.
All them niggas going to jail. They're going to jail.
Yeah, it's a tough situation over there. But all right, MVP. Who do you have for MVP?
Let's not make this too hard. I mean, it's coming down to either Giannis or Jokic.
Giannis or Jokic?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm taking Giannis.
Going Giannis.
Okay. I think Giannis gonna go down regular season. I think Giannis is mad. I think he's mad that he lost in the first round.
Yeah.
I'm going Giannis. I'm going Giannis for MVP.
He been in the lab, man. He been in the lab all off season. Him and Hakeem.
Yep. Hey man, don't let him have no drill. My God. Giannis with the dream shake, I would ban him.
Yeah, he'd be a lethal weapon at that point. More so than he already is.
Oh my God.
MVP for me, I think I'm gonna go with Jason Tatum. I think
really.
Yes, I think this year is gonna be the year that he wins it. I think Boston has a really good regular season team, and when I say that, I don't mean like they ain't gonna be good in the playoffs. I mean throughout the regular season, they gonna be consistent. They gonna be steady. They gonna always be kind of at the top. And Jason Tatum is gonna be like the leader of that. I think he's gonna up his scoring a little bit. You know, do a little more defensively. I think this year he knows, like, all right, we gonna have to do something, and he gonna show it through the regular season. So Jason Tatum for MVP.
You gonna catch me debating it? I mean, I would like to see it. In my Monique voice, I would like to see it.
Yeah. So got MVPs. Any other shocks, hot takes from the season before we get into our final two and
No, shocks and hot takes, man. No, well, I do agree with you that there will be. I don't know if it's gonna be Embiid, but I think there will be a big time move during the regular season. A big time player is gonna be on the move. Don't know who.
Okay.
Just like last year, Kyrie was traded to the Mavericks. It's gonna be somebody big, traded somewhere. The Clippers might give up on one of the. Could be Paul. It's most likely Paul George if they give up on one of them.
Yeah, Paul George. I'm sorry, man. Podcast P.
I mean, I fucks with Paul George.
I do too, but
we would like to see you be healthy and play basketball.
Yeah.
But we're just being realistic. We love you though.
Okay. I think that's fair, and I'm with you. I'm being more specific. Like I said earlier, I think Joel Embiid is going to request a trade this year. It will be traded. I think it's going to be to the Knicks, but like you just mentioned with Oklahoma City, I wouldn't be shocked. Truth be told, I wouldn't be shocked if they was like, all right, we gonna try to do some weird. You know, the NBA is weird with these trades. They'll put like 6 teams in them, and
Dallas.
I don't know. He'll figure out. Yeah, Dallas is another option. The Clippers. I think it's just a lot of teams that he could go to because I think there's a lot of teams that are like, it's Joel Embiid. Let's do this.
Clippers. I'm trying to think more along lines of people that I believe, had the capital to do it.
Yeah,
they could do it. I don't see why OKC wouldn't try.
Yeah.
I would if I were them.
Yeah, and I agree with you.
Or if I'm Minnesota, I might try to Karl-Anthony Towns that way. That means.
Ooh, I know Karl-Anthony Towns will be hurt too.
I know who else will be hurt. The entire West if Joel Embiid comes over there. Everybody be mad as hell.
Yeah,
if Joel, they'd be like, we have enough going on over here.
Yeah, because Jokic and Embiid, you got to get through them every year.
You got to get through them every year. KD and LeBron.
Yeah, that's
Ja Morant,
that's
Zion, and Luka.
Man, the West is loaded. Yeah, those are the only hot takes that I really got this year. Yeah, Steph Curry another. And then my other hot take is the Warriors will implode by Christmas Day this year. Chris Paul and Draymond Green, something will happen, and Chris Paul will be traded to another team for something else. That's my other bold prediction. I think
I could see that.
I think that's gonna happen.
I could see, and they have proven that they will part with anybody before parting with Draymond.
Yes.
So that has been proven.
Draymond got ownership of that franchise at this point.
4 rings will do that for you.
It does.
That's an interesting one. I can see that.
And the weird part about Draymond is, as annoying as Draymond is, it's still like, dang, all right, I like him. He cool. He don't that's the weird part. He don't see, if nothing else, he seems like he out here trying, he just plays hard. And sometimes, those guys on the team, and he's built up a Hall of Fame career real quietly.
Man. I would say this one thing, though. Whatever happens to the implosion, you better believe, as long as Steph Curry is on the damn Warriors.
Yeah, Steph ain't going nowhere. Okay. He's a Warrior for life. As long as Steph Curry
is on the Warriors, they are going to give anybody hell in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Hell. Whoever they play in the playoffs, first round, they're taking them 7. I don't care who it is. Nuggets, 7. Suns, Clippers, Lakers, they're taking them 7. Whether they win or not, I don't know. But Steph Curry by himself gets you 2 games.
2 games.
Against anybody. Okay. By himself.
So that's a good transition there. So who are your final 2 in the West? Who are your final 2 in the East? And then your finals?
Well, we'll make it easy in the East. Celtics in 7.
Celtics
against the Bucks.
Against who?
Celtics win a Game 7 in Milwaukee. I have faith in that because I see them do it before. Game 7, we win Game 7 in Milwaukee. Now, the hard part is the West. I'm going Nuggets, Suns. Nuggets in 6. I'm going Nuggets in 6 against the Suns. Okay. I feel like something bites the Suns in the ass. And at that point in the season, if Jamal Murray isn't hurt either, the Nuggets will be an unstoppable force.
Okay.
For whoever they're up against in that Western Conference final.
Okay, so that means your finals is Boston,
Boston.
and Denver.
Boston and Denver. I think Denver ends up being the number one overall seed in the NBA again. I think Denver has a number one record in the league this year.
Okay.
Celtics in 7 again. 7 in Denver for Game 7. No, actually, no. I don't think I want that. Celtics in 6. Celtics in 6.
Celtics in 6.
I think we probably would have to win in 6. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think going back to Denver for 7 would be very upsetting. I would have too much anxiety. I don't think I would watch that game.
Okay, Celtics in 6 against the Denver Nuggets.
Celtics in 6 against the Denver
Celtics in
Nuggets.
6. Okay. So my Final Four, I think, is pretty similar to yours. The East is definitely is the same. You got Milwaukee and Boston. The only difference is I have Milwaukee winning in 7 games and going to the finals there. In the West, I have Denver, and then I hate to do this, I really do, but I got the Lakers. I think that
Don't do it to yourself.
towards the end of the year, the Lakers will remain healthy and at least get to the conference finals again. However, like last year, the Denver Nuggets will prevail, go to the NBA Finals. And then the finals matchup of Giannis and Jokic. I have Milwaukee winning in 7 games. I think that the trade for Dame, although we haven't talked about it much because I think it's pretty obvious. I mean,
We know what's
what's going to happen. But I think once we get to that 6th and 7th game in the finals, I think that's where that trade will really pay off for them. Because when it gets late in the game, Dame time is, I mean, we already know what type of time Dame is on when it gets to those late game moments. And so I think that's where we're going to see a lot of them from Dame. And we're really going to see the dynamic of him and Giannis live to what it truly is going to be.
Oh, okay. I agree with you on Dame time. But, and I aside from my fandom, I could totally see your NBA Finals going down. I really can. I'm sure that's what most people probably want is Bucks and Nuggets. Now, just a question to you. I think he'll be fine, but just something to think about. Is there any concern at all about Damian Lillard since he's never, I don't think, even won a game in the Western Conference Finals? I think he got swept the year against the...
Yeah, he did. Yeah, they got swept.
Is there any concern you think with him about experience at that point? Or do you just going to lean that on Giannis got the experience for that?
Nah, I think experience. I think Dame is one of those type players where he show up no matter what the occasion is. I mean, and this is the first time that he's truly played on a team where it feels like, okay, Dame, you don't have any excuses right now.
That's what I'm about to say.
I mean, those teams in Portland were not bad. Do not get me wrong. C.J. McCollum is a great player. They had Nurkic before he got hurt. Grant. They've had a decent litany of players come through. But when you talk about Giannis, man.
You want to know something? I have a hot take. I don't know if it's hot, but this is just my opinion. This is actual fact. Dame Lillard only wanted to go to Miami if he was going to go anywhere. Mm-hmm. He would have actually turned down the Milwaukee trade. That's what he was saying. They were saying, but at that point it was too late to go back on it. And my hot take is I think Damian Lillard was actually okay with his cop out. I think Damian Lillard was comfortable with his cop out. That people were going to be able to look at him and always have the what if label. And they could never have any type of asterisk against him. Mm-hmm. Ever. He could have the Allen Iverson cop out. That he has the cop out that if Allen Iverson, let's say Allen Iverson had gotten traded to the Spurs. Mm-hmm. And didn't win the finals, then we would be able to look at Allen Iverson like,
dog, what you doing,
nigga? You now what you're saying is very, very true. Now we made this is a different spot than Damian Lillard's ever been in. Okay, now we can say he's mentally tough, and he's it gets to everybody. It's gotten to the best of the best, and we've seen the best of the best wilt under that pressure. We've seen it happen to LeBron. We've seen it happen to KD. We've seen it happen. We've seen it happen many times. KD now. We've seen it happen to Kyrie Irving. Like when it's you, when you. Hey, these expectations is different now.
Yeah.
Like we not the minute the Milwaukee Bucks look like they teeter-tottering, which is it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
at some point they're gonna have like a 3-game losing streak, and people gonna be like, frauds, which is not gonna be true. But hey, my hot take is I think Dame was comfortable with his legacy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna disagree with you. I think that I agree with you because for Dame, he never. I think as much as we like Portland, always did, they never really had a shot, and he knew it.
Yeah.
And so now he's in this position in Milwaukee, and that's my thing about Milwaukee is, to a certain degree, they replaced Drew Holiday with Damian Lillard in a lot of ways. And I know Drew Holiday is
he's not a defender, Drew
right?
Holiday
He's not. Yeah, he's like a superior defender and everything, but offensively, I just think Dame adds so much to that team. And even once it gets late into the season, Giannis is there. He has that experience. That whole team has that late season experience. And even if Dame doesn't have to, do all the work or, struggles at the end to do all the work, they got the pieces, man. It's just so many pieces. And that's why I like that team so much. And I feel so confidently in saying that they will go to the finals and win in 7 games because I just really like Giannis and Dame together.
I mean, that mathematics is easy, man. That mathematics is very easy. I just think my squad has the best matchup for Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
Being Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody would have the best chance, I really do. I think did you say who won the finals?
Yeah, Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee's going to beat Denver in 7 games.
I think if Milwaukee makes the finals, they're going to win the finals.
Yeah.
I actually think we would have the best chance of knocking them out the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. I think so too. I think, like you just talked about with Drew Holiday matching up with Dame, like that's going to be the X factor in just how well defensively they can stop Dame. Because maybe they'll play that sort of offense or that defense of Giannis is going to get his. Let's make sure Dame don't do nothing. I don't know. It's so many different schemes and game plans. That's why it's such a good season this year. That's why I'm so excited.
But make no bones about this, man. There's a lot of teams that this is championship or bust. That's what makes it so interesting. The teams that this is champion, it is Milwaukee, Boston, and Phoenix.
Yeah,
are probably the 3 teams that is just like, if you don't get the chip, this is a complete failure of a season.
Yeah,
and to a degree, the Lakers, because the Lakers feel like that every year.
Yeah.
Especially in the waning days of LeBron James. So, Damian Lillard, there's no outs. There anything less than the champion, y'all could lose in Game 7 to a buzzer beater in the Eastern Conference Finals, and it'll be you can lose in a buzzer beater in the finals in Game 7, and this would be a complete failure for y'all.
Yeah.
Jokic could hit a one-legged fadeaway like Dirk Nowitzki from the logo to win the game in Game 7. This would be a complete failure.
Yeah, and
that's what you're in now.
Yep, and that's what makes this season so exciting between the youth in the NBA. Wemby is another dude. It's like, man, I can't wait to see what he does out there on the floor.
Oh my God, the first Wemby and Jokic game.
Tough. Dude.
I'm gonna need to see that because Jokic gonna frag that nigga around.
yeah. He gonna get tested real quick. And then even like I said, the best teams in the league. So the Milwaukee's, the Boston's, the Denver's, the Lakers, Phoenix, Golden State, even down to the Clippers, the what ifs, teams. Right. It's still so much exciting basketball that's coming this year, and man, it's
gonna be fun.
It's the best time of the year. We getting football, baseball playoffs, basketball.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
And homecoming coming soon too.
Ooh, if you see me, you didn't see me. G-Ho 2023, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. But thank y'all as always. Q, plugs, shout outs, anything that you want to do before we get up out of here.
Ooh, the Stay With It podcast, #1 podcast that you have never heard of on the Broadcast Network. Live every Wednesday for With It Wednesday, man. Y'all check me out on Instagram at Stay With It Pod. Cause I'm every day. I'm every Wednesday. At this point, I'm kind of surprised that I've been this consistent. I'm not gonna lie, but that's why I've named it the Stay With It podcast. To tell myself to stay with it, not just y'all, man.
That's free game.
Love.
Free game. Broadcast wrestling. Anybody want to check out the wrestler stuff at Broadcast PW, Instagram, Twitter, at Broadcast Network, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. All the links will be in the description. NBA season, who y'all like, sleepers, hot takes, put all that good stuff in the comment section because we do want to hear from you all. And yeah, NBA season is upon us.
And for all we've said, it still could be the Nuggets and Heat again. That's all I'll say.
Hey.
It would piss me off. But if we look up in June and that's it, I'm just know I told you so. Just know I told you so.
That's a hell of a way to close it out. Because we could have talked about all that, and that really couldn't just be what it boils down to. But anyway, y'all, it's your boy Brody. Thank y'all as always.
Peace.
Peace.